Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today, your boy is going meta. I'm sorry, I know every hipster wannabe watching is probably very disappointed, but I am going to play a top tier meta deck. I want to do this every now and then to showcase, my own take on established decks in the meta. And why they are as good as they are, and I can pilot them for newer players to see how they are supposed to be played as well. The reason why I wanted to really cover this deck is because I really like it. It's actually one of the few decks that I actually like from the top tier listings. Right now, like I stated prior, we are in an aggro/control metagame, which means you either go turbo or you go slow and just like win with massive value, right? So this is a control deck. And it is a very, very efficient one at that. It's not so much, because generally speaking, when you see EZREAL decks, you see a deck list that's fully focused on reactive resources and a game plan that is centered around leveling up EZREAL, right? But I've been really enjoying mixing EZREAL with other champions and having him not be the end-all, be-all of the deck, right? It's not like, okay, we need to win 100% with EZREAL. If we don't draw EZREAL, we're kind of screwed. We need to work for EZREAL's level up purely, and that needs to be the main focus of our plays throughout the entire match. I don't actually like overcommitting to him like that with the strategy, right? That's why I think this deck is as powerful as it is. It has the threat of EZREAL as a tremendous finisher with really strong card draw on top of that, but it doesn't really require him to win. And in fact, you don't really need to do a great job at leveling him up in the early to mid stages of the game, because a lot of times, your boy Riptide Rex will do that on his own. Riptide Rex is an 8 mana 7/4. You guys know this card pretty well by this point. It has the plunder effect of casting 7 cannon barrages on randomly target enemies. When these target an opposing unit, it will count as a level up progression for EZREAL, and thus this 8-drop alone can basically a lot of times, most of the times even, do more than half of EZREAL's level up requirement and allow you to use EZREAL as a late game finisher after you drop the big bad Rex Shark. So the rest of the deck is comprised of plunder enablers mainly, because even though we have Make It Rain and Mystic Shot, we don't really have much more damage than that. We have Thermogenic Beam, but you guys can see we're playing this as a 2-of. This is not exactly like the top tier deck or the exact version of the deck that you guys have probably seen online in tier listings and such. There's a lot of variants running the Chempunk Pickpocket instead of the Dreadweight Deckhand, and running a full set of Thermogenic Beam. The problem with this is that it ups your Piltover and Zon lineup to 12, which I just don't think you can justify in a deck in which you're running a full set of Yordle Grifter, as we do definitely want to trigger the Allegiance. Obviously, this is one of the Allegiance cards that requires the Allegiance to proc off the least, compared to others like the Basilisk Rider, which is, a tremendous difference between you getting it or not. This just translates into you getting one card, right? But a lot of times that extra card goes a long way, especially when we have the likes of the Black Market Merchant to synergize with this lovely nav mechanic that we all just adore. So having a total of 8 Piltover and Zon cards over 12 is worth the cutting of 1 Thermogenic Beam, which, 2 is still all that you need most of the time, and running Dreadweight Deckhand instead of the Chempunk Pickpocket. I think Chempunk Pickpocket is alright. It does punish lack of proactivity since you are an EZREAL deck, but a lot of times when people are facing this EZREAL deck, people will commit to the board because they don't want to allow you to enable plunder. So running a Chempunk Pickpocket is not really the best in a deck that has no way to really protect them from removal, nor ways to enable like elusive onto it, amongst other things. It's still a solid 2-drop, but I believe Dreadweight Deckhand is actually ultimately better. The Powder Keg is really, really important, as it allows us to get a very, very powerful Make It Rain happening, also allowing us to hit for 3 damage with our Mystic Shots potentially as well, while even empowering the Thermogenic beams in a pinch. which make him just more reliable overall, and I just like him better in this deck, and I have not regretted putting him in it instead. On top of that, Petty Officer is one of the main reasons why this deck is as good as it is right now, even though Riptide Rex is the heart and soul of the deck in my opinion. Petty Officer got a really nice buff in the recent balance patch, and it went from a 3-1 to a 3-2, and it is very flexible, enabling you to get a powder keg or a random 1-cost follower, which allows you to go wide and apply quite a bit of port presence early on in the game that allows you to enable plunder easier, and also just to apply pressure in general onto the opponent, which is something that more reactive EZREAL builds don't tend to do as well. So that's also one of the reasons why this deck is as efficient as it is. I went from 1 salvage, which the original deck list had, up to 2, because I believe card draw is super key in a deck like this, especially giving us another alternate way to focus on Twisted Fate as a potential win condition, and also allowing us to fish for EZREAL in the late game, amongst other things as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the deck list right there. Shout outs to Warning Shot, the usual easy peasy plunder enabler, and potentially 3 damage burst speed with leveled up EZREAL in the late game as well, and obviously vital to enable the Riptide Rex at turn 8. It's very important to have a Warning Shot, which is why a lot of times you may be aggressive with it to enable a turn 1 3/3 Jack Butcher, but most of the time you want to be holding on to your Warning Shots to make sure that you have this big boy play available to you at that turn. It really does make a difference. So that is the deck list right there. Hopefully you guys enjoy some good old easy gameplay. I enjoy EZREAL a lot. He's, as a champion, there are mixed receptions regarding my Twitch chat and my YouTube comment section. Like, there's people who love him, there's people who absolutely despise him. So yeah, hopefully those of you who despise him can still enjoy the video. And yeah, tomorrow onwards I will be working on new deck lists to try to combat the metagame a little bit, though we do have to see what this next patch has to offer, if there will be any surprise balance changes or not. So we got to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright. I still didn't buy it. So, Scouts aggro, it seems. Let's drop the salvage. Let's keep everything else. I tried to mute myself, but I missed. I need like a mute button on my microphone. Ah, yes. Sorry about that. It's a great way to start a video. Okay, so we're gonna keep the rest of the hand. We could lead off with. I actually like Warning Shot into Jack Butcher. You are very. Yes, very evil. Nice, but could you shut up, little cat? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to beat you. This is why I don't run the cat. This is why I don't play Von Yip. He is pretty obnoxious. As you guys can see, this Warning Shot into Butcher has gone a long way. It's allowed me to get some really solid damage onto the opponent, and also has traded into that. Found you. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna set up a keg. No, because if he does that, he'll be able to attack with that. Never mind. We're gonna go for a follower. We're gonna go wide. We're gonna go wide. And now we go for Make It Rain. Ranger's Resolve. Okay.
Time for violence.
Go for it. I'll take 3 damage. Spice! He's already played 1 single combat. I could play EZREAL to try to finish you off, but I don't think that's as big of a deal. I'm gonna go with you. We get a challenger, which is absolutely beautiful.
You're covered.
All right. That's really annoying.
Sentinels of light don't fear the dark.
I could attack like this onto you, and then I would trade that into that.
The dead don't need riches.
I could trade that into that, but then I lose. I only have one potential blocker. I think this is fine.
No one goes hungry.
Sentinels.
So Genevieve is definitely
I've got your back.
I kind of like the idea of going for Twisted Fate to break this, but I also like the idea of doing that afterwards. If I play EZREAL, I won't be able to block her, but I will get an extra blocker,
New recruit reporting in.
and I'll be able to trade into two of these.
Slow down, will you?
And now I can do this.
Fate.
Fortune. Who says I don't share?
Knocking down the barrier and preventing the scout attack. Alright. We want to trade into you.
Back down.
That's quite a bit of damage. Can we afford that?
Love ya.
Love it. I could have blocked Fate into one of these, but we're gonna take this approach.
My strength is yours.
Pump them up, heal up my bird as well.
Their pride will cost them.
Hard to get rich.
Making the dead deader.
You poor thing.
I'm what nightmare.
I just hope his last card is not a Relentless Pursuit. Alright.
Don't blink.
Or you'll miss me. Alright.
No way.
My gun does the talking. Stay back.
We connect there.
There'll be blood in the water.
All that firepower for little old.
Yeah, you're a problem. I have to kill you, otherwise you kill me. It really is that simple. Let's go with the salvage now. Warning shot is lethal. Alright, that was tight. Relentless Pursuit just did us in dirty because he would have been able to level up. That repose is really powerful. Really, really strong. And if he had a Relentless Pursuit on top of that, I'm sorry, but I gotta say no to the cat. I can't. I can't. Back to the Powder Monkey. Like, the cat is just like... It actually legit distracts me. Like, I've tried like 2 times already. I know, a lot of times. Outstanding. fascinating. Incredible. I know. But I can't. I have no patience with a cat. He's just a little bit, I don't know, the cat just kind of like wants to make the whole thing about him. And I'm not for that. You're a cat. So, yeah. Let's go into round 2. Alright, here we go. Darius, but with Braum. Not what you generally are used to seeing here. I'm going to keep these 3. I'm going to drop Riptide Rex as we get the deckhand. Mystic Shot, Make It Rain would be pretty in here.
Nothing but the stink of glory.
We'll drop the Jack Butcher.
Let's get to it.
This land is ours.
I could play you and start stealing, but I very much like the ability to make it. Well, actually no, never mind. I could just float here though. Yeah, I'm actually gonna float. Let's be smart about this. Even though I could drop the Black Market Merchant, I wanted to play a second unit.
Everyone pleads for the right price.
Didn't know the boss is in here.
And now we set up to Make It Rain.
The Winter's Claw.
You poor thing.
We do give him a card to the Crimson Curator. Oh, and that. Alright. We can play Twist of Fate now to knock that out.
I'm always up to hold it, partner.
Braum could go down here.
Let us get it going.
Better.
For the Empire.
First we fight. Show me your best.
You got legs. Use them.
Deal me in.
We're gonna go for Twist of Fate again. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make use of the spell mana from the Attune. And we're gonna go for the pick a card here. Hopefully we get a warning shot. As we're gonna work for a level up here.
It is easy, see?
I just need, like, if I play this, I just need to,
Gotta trust your instincts.
I just need to not have a Piltover card at the top of my deck. Which, you know, it's relatively likely. I've only drawn one Mystic Shot. I could go for the, like, this is, but this line of play, yeah.
Safety.
Okay, good.
What will you have? A mug of your warmest milk, my friend.
Noxian Fervor is a problem. But then again, so is...
I found my family.
All right, now that he's developed his entire board, I could play Jack Butchers here, or I could drop the Merchant, which will allow me to level up next turn anyways. Even though I do lose my Warning Shot, which is a really vital card here. I could just go for the Pilfered Goods. This is a very important decision to make here. I need to really think for a second. That's a great pickup. Now we go for the level up.
I guess
You can win them all.
Mine is the hand
And
of
Noxus.
Your command, General.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
We're gonna drop the Dreadway deck in here.
Eyes open.
Eyes open.
My shield is my sword. We should be friends.
Best run while you can.
I'm gonna keep this around.
You got legs. Use them.
He needs you to pay up.
We go for this. We can hit a couple of random ones, but we will always hit that. I could go for double, make it rain, but I don't feel.
All that glitters.
We get rid of Darius this way.
I never disclose my sources.
It is easy, see?
If they don't break,
I'm gonna go for the Demolitionist to enable the Plunder.
Get in.
I have the name. I need the reputation. Treasures of the ages.
I mean, I could go for a Make It Rain, but knowing my luck, man, I'm just not gonna hit what I need to hit.
Gotta trust your instincts.
The problem with this is I'm gonna level up Braum.
All that glitters. Time to celebrate!
I found my family, my bloodkin.
Warm hearts and hot soup. All or nothing.
I can attack with you. If I attack with any of these, then yeah, it's just like the quick attack unit.
You must teach me when you have time. I'll think about it. Packed 'em good.
I'm gonna play a deckhand to draw a card here.
Soak it in. Time for talking. Show me your best.
Clear off.
I've got meat bigger than you.
Some pretty underwhelming targets.
Says I don't share.
Like, I wish I would have hit 3 units because that would have enabled me to level up EZREAL here.
Remember your lessons?
Teach me again, just to be sure.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
My axe is ready.
Firing! Check me out!
I probably should have targeted this first and then attack with EZREAL for the extra damage. Now that I think about it. I mean, I kind of realized this as soon as I did it, but I just, when have I dealt damage to him though? What is this? Why does it say my Riptide is enabled? Oh, because I've triggered with that, of course. And why didn't I play this first then? Holy crap, dude! Like I'm sorry for this. I'm derping a lot. This could cost me the game. I am derping really hard, dude. I had lethal. If I play the Riptide Rex, if I play the Riptide Rex here,
Would use it.
by just connecting with this, I played Riptide Rex and then I double up on Mystic shots.
It's just blood, darling.
Seriously, what am I thinking?
It is easy, see?
I don't deserve to win this game at all. I'm sorry about this. I just had a mental fart. Like what I should have done is I misplayed this game so much. It's kind of I'm not gonna lie. It kind of like really bothers me. Really bothers me. I just top decked this out of my ass. Like I don't deserve to win this game.
Firing!
Yeah. Very bittersweet win here.
Easy. Like my name.
I don't know. I'm gonna blame the rust on that. I'm gonna blame the rust on that. Yeah, I've been making some dumb plays here and there. Not gonna lie. But that match, I made several bad calls. But that last one was just like really stupid. Basically, I had the ability to, like, once I connected with EZREAL, I enabled the plunder for Riptide Rex. I should always play Riptide Rex first, because I would enable EZREAL to level up, and then I would be able to finish off my opponent with the double Mystic Shot, you know, the one that I had and the one that I generated. You know, I top decked another Mystic Shot out of my booty, which allowed me, like, it was basically the only thing that gave me lethal at that point. No, not true. Like, a warning shot would have done it as well, I believe, because he was a 7. Yeah. But, or even like a lucky make it rain as well. But yeah, that was caca. I mean, I didn't misplay the entire game. I think I did navigate Twisted Fate properly, and I got a lot of value out of him before we could finish off with EZREAL. But I'm really kicking myself in the balls here over, which is a weird expression, I know, but I don't like misplaying. I don't like misplaying this bad. So yeah, I'm gonna try to redeem myself. We're technically 2-0, but that's mentally that's kind of a loss. So yeah, let's go into round 3. And of course, when you play the meta, you must face the meta. That didn't make much sense, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and drop EZREAL here. I'm gonna keep the rest of this hand, as we have a thermogenic beam on top of that. Alright, so I am thinking about going for a warning shot here, because a 1 mana 3/3 is not something that the opponent can really deal with turn 1. So unless they have, you know, we do lose the warning shot to combine with Black Market Merchant. We will attempt to enable this now, even though Make It Rain is a thing. Naturally.
Treasures of the ages for a price.
Man, this just kind of blows, but I have to go for the Thermo Beam here. Yeah, I'm not sure if the warning shot ultimately was a good call.
Safety will cost you.
We do get it back again now.
Nice selection speaks for itself. Get on the claw.
Ever consider a hedging career? You name it, I'll nick it.
I'm gonna drop the pickpocket here that we took from him.
Store the rations, shackle the prisoners. Frog if you work, burn if you don't.
It just really sucks when they get the Sonite Urkin. That's like the best 1-drop you can get. Like the best. The absolute best 1-drop you can ever get with Petty Officer. Because it draws your card. It's 2/1 that draws your card.
I ain't complaining.
Ain't that fantastic? Alright, so if we attack with these, what blocks can happen? Yeah, we're gonna end with because ours is just the 1/1, so we have to hold back. We can't attack here. We could see a thermogenic beam. He may be pondering that. Or never mind. Well, we're not gonna prevent the plunder now, but I mean, he has played a lot of, like, the problem is he can play my own merchants.
Who's falling for blood? You picked the losing side.
Oh,
Probably should have blocked into that. I'm not sure what I was thinking there.
Don't ask where it's from. Ask how much.
We get the thing back.
yeah, you don't want to cross me.
Goes to a good cause. Me.
All right. There we go.
There's plenty of killing there.
I'm gonna preserve the deckhand alongside Make It Rain for later. We are going to surprise him with a early Riptide Rex, which will also help us work really hard for EZREAL's level up. In fact, we may end up at 7 actually. I believe we do, because we do hit each of these twice. The funny thing is, he's drawn so much from my deck. All of a sudden, we are very close with EZREAL here. He could have a thermogenic beam.
Double back for the next kill. Never gone flying. Be nothing left when I'm done.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one. Soak it in.
He's only got 4 cards, so the odds of him having a way to deal with EZREAL immediately
Check me out. I thought you'd never ask.
are not the greatest.
Ye started without me.
A bit of a delayed response there.
Charge. Stow the Russians, shackle the prisoners.
Time for new leadership.
Stow the Russians, shackle the prisoners.
Time for new leadership.
I should go for a full attack here.
What's that you got there? What's that you got there?
Why is he choosing to block this specifically? Like, it can't be a make it rain if he's opted to block this, right? Alright. It's important that we got that out of him.
Safety. Yeah, you don't want to cross me.
Whew. Took his Rex. Oh, that's a BS. How close are you? 4? I'm gonna do this. Okay. That's a little bit unorthodox, but I'll take it. Alright, just stealing my shit, but you ain't got no healing. I got no healing. You got no healing. I mean... yeah, a bit too late for that, buddy. It's safe to assume that, you know, whoever... let's let it rain. Whoever plays more Riptide Rexes in the mirror has the upper hand. Alright. I was waiting for a Rex quote, I don't know why. So this is a very strong deck. I like it, honestly. Like, even though it's like really popular in the metagame, and you know, that kind of like goes against our hipster edgy wannabe code. I do like Twisted Fate and EZREAL a lot. I think this deck is pretty synergistic, it's powerful, it's flexible, and it's the good definition, or I mean, it's not entirely something that I'm like super crazy about just because it runs the black market merchant and the pilfered goods mechanic. Basically, it relies on nab, and I still believe nab is very unhealthy for the game, and I do believe that if we're facing a mirror match, it just comes down to who nabs better. That's just basically it. We nabbed better than the opponent because we were able to take their Riptide Rex, so we were able to play 2 Riptide Rexes versus them only playing 1, and we played both of our Riptide Rexes before our opponent plays his, and we enabled lethal that way. That's basically what that match ended up, you know, coming down to, right? So I don't like the outcome to be dictated by such a variance-driven mechanic, but it is what it is. And, you know, hopefully we'll see some nerfs in the upcoming balance patch. I do believe that they're not doing enough for it. Regardless, you know, taking that out of the equation, like the rest of the deck I really like. I love Riptide Rex as a card in general, and I really like Rex with EZREAL. Rex with EZREAL is kind of, it seems kind of busted at times. Like, I don't really have to work much towards EZREAL's level up, but with cards with, like, Make It Rain and Riptide Rex, I just kind of get there automatically in a way. So that's basically the strength of this deck. The strength of this deck is the Riptide Rex. The Riptide Rex is what really pushes EZREAL over the edge in this build. And it's really, like, it's the big power play. Like, without this card, this deck would be nothing. And Twisted Fate is definitely a good support champion here. Definitely not, like, something you want to be focusing on leveling up in your game. Like, you want to, you know, you don't want to overcommit just to try to level up Twisted Fate, right? Since, especially in matchups in which he's super vulnerable. But if you do get to level him up, you put in the massive work, and he definitely does support the overall tactic. I like it. Like, this is definitely, like, out of all the meta decks right now, this is definitely my favorite. It's the most synergistic, and it's got some really cool, wacky plays. But, you know, tomorrow onwards, we are going to be focusing on building our own decks and seeing if we can come up with ways to counter this aggro control-driven metagame. And that's basically all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a soul day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.